Hey everybody, Danika here, and I'm going to be reading a small selection for you from Switchback tonight. So we've got two best friends, Ash and Vale. They are lost in the Canadian wilderness. They've built a lean-to. They're pretty much settled for the night, and that's where our story picks up. It took what felt like ages before Ash finally slept. Twice, he took out his phone. Each time there was no reception, so he turned it off again. 16%, even on low power mode, was barely enough to last for the length of a phone call, and that was only if he could get enough reception to call for help. I need to get up high again. Trouble was, Vale's twisted ankle was going to make climbing impossible. He frowned down at the girl who slept at his side. In the dim glow of the light stick, the last one Vale had, he could see the stress this experience was putting on her. Vale's face was drawn, her cheeks hollowed out, lips pinched. She looked hurt, and that bothered him. Vale was Ash's best friend, and right now, she was doing more for their survival than he was. Not like I can hunt for food or something. At the thought of food, Ash's stomach let out a low rumble of protest. Images of his mother's homemade mansaf, leg of lamb, on top of marcouk bread and roasted vegetables hung in the air before him, enticing him with their imagined tastes. The last piece of gum was long gone, nothing left to distract him from the hunger pains that tortured him. Stomach aching, Ash squirmed uncomfortably as he waited for sleep to take him. Just stop thinking about food. It was a Herculean task, but eventually he forced himself to focus on the sounds around the lean-to. He categorized them: bird, rodent, crinkle of the emergency blanket, wind in the trees. Slowly, his body relaxed. Vale's warmth, a welcome comfort. His lids fluttered closed as moments from today flickered in a random montage. Him and Vale climbing the mountain, the snowball fight, Ash stomping the snow, and the cornice giving way. Grabbing Vale's hand as they ran from the avalanche, Vale seeing the lake in the valley. The hike down, the animal in the darkness. Helping Vale with her twisted ankle, the carpenter ants in the stump, Vale in the shelter, and him taking his place beside her. Sometime later, Ash woke in the dark, heart pounding. What was that? He opened his eyes, taking in the faint green glow of the light stick, and Vale, a warm bundle in front of him, and the opening to the lean-to with the fire down to embers a stone's throw away. Ash was warm, surprisingly so. In fact, he felt the way he'd felt that long ago night when he'd fallen asleep in the doghouse. It was almost like he was nestled between two. Ash's breath caught. Oh crap, there's something lying right behind me. Terrified, his senses stretched out into the shadows. Ash could feel the branches of the lean-to, but against the narrow barrier of them, something else lay. It was large and warm. He could feel its slow breath rise and fall. Panic rose like a wave inside him. It's lying next to me. It's just outside. The animal that Vale heard in the forest. It's here. Whatever it was, it felt big. With trembling fingers, Ash reached back over his shoulder. He brushed aside the pine needles and branches that formed the shelter's wall. He held his breath and pushed farther, farther. He touched stiff fur. Ash jerked his hand back so fast, he smacked Vale in the back of the head with his elbow. She made a snuffling noise and turned her head. What are you? Ash pressed his hand against her mouth. Vale's eyes widened in shock. Outside, he mouthed. Vale shook her head in confusion. What? Ash let go of her mouth and leaned in until his lips were directly against her ear. The animal you heard is outside, he hissed. He felt her stiffen. A bear. I think so. It's on the other side of the shelter, leaning on me. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.